Welcome to the TLC Home Loan Webinar.
Hi, I'm Lisa Lambright-Steele.
I'm Landa Fick. And I'm Christina Frank, and we are your TLC mortgage loan officers. We're going to review today the mortgage process, talk about ways to get pre-approved, and go over some additional details. Lisa's going to go ahead and start with some steps in the mortgage buying process.
Good evening, and again, thank you for attending the TLC webinar on purchasing a home. When you're looking to start the process of getting pre-approved for a new home loan, it's likely to be a process that seems confusing and overwhelming. Many people who call us to get pre-approved state they have either never purchased before or it's been a while since they've been through the process and are not sure where or how to start. We hope this webinar helps both the new home buyer and returning home buyer better understand how the process works. These steps that we're going to cover will be discussed in more detail as we move through the presentation. To begin, when you are ready to apply for a mortgage, you're going to want to reach out to your mortgage lender at TLC. When you contact one of us, we will begin the process by getting some basic personal information from you. We will need to know where you're currently living, how long you've been there, where you work. We'll review your income and credit, and we'll also review with you your intentions for the mortgage loan, meaning we'll want to know what price range you might be looking at, or start by reviewing a comfortable amount where you feel your monthly payment is affordable. Once we have this information, we will be able to complete the pre-approval process. You will receive a letter stating your loan amount and what type of loan you have been approved for. At this point, you and your realtor will begin looking at homes. When you find the home you're interested in, you will present your offer to the seller. If the seller agrees to your offer, the agreement is accepted, and you will then be required to make an earnest money deposit. This deposit makes your contract binding and typically starts around $500. Now you will be required to complete any inspections you wish to do on the home. These inspections may include a home inspection or a pest inspection, a radon inspection, maybe a septic or well, or even a sewer line inspection. But your realtor will be able to assist you with any inspections that you may want to do for the home which you are looking to purchase. After your inspections are completed, then you're going to want to reach back out to your TLC loan officer. We'll collect any missing information needed to complete your loan application. Once we have all of the needed information, your loan request will be sent to the underwriter for review. Also at this time, the appraisal and title work will be requested. The appraisal is the document that confirms the market value supports the amount you offered to pay the seller for the property. The title work is the insurance you receive, knowing that once you purchase the home, no one else has any claims to the property, and all mortgages or other liens have been paid or released. Once we have the title work, appraisal, and all of your required documentation, your loan will be finalized and you're ready to schedule closing. The closing of your loan is when you, the buyer, meet with the seller at the title company or real estate office to sign all of the loan and property transfer paperwork. The entire home loan purchase process typically takes anywhere between 30 and 45 days to complete. Now that you know the overall steps in the process, let's review these steps in a little more detail. Christina will begin by reviewing the pre-approval process.
The ways to get pre-approved. There's several different options that you can choose from. The first option is scheduling an appointment with one of your TLC loan officers in the office. You can do this by calling the call center, and they can reach out to a loan officer or contacting us directly to schedule an appointment. You can also apply over the phone with a TLC loan officer. Again, you can contact the call center and they will get you in touch with one of us, or you can reach out to us directly and we can take all of the information over the phone for you. Another way is to apply online. This is probably most convenient for lots of folks out there, especially with the busy lives that we have. But let's talk about how you go about applying online. You're going to visit our website at tlccu.org, and you're going to click the menu button in the top right-hand corner. Once that drop down comes up, you're going to hit the Borrow tab, which will then allow you to hit Home Loans. This next page is going to be our location where you can find lots of different resources and details about home loans and where to apply. You can see that there's an Apply Now button right up at the top, and also the phone number to our call center in order to get in touch with a loan officer. If you continue to scroll down, it's going to give you additional details such as our rates for purchases and refinances. These are updated daily for you. As you continue to scroll, you're going to see additional information on how to apply, calculators that you can use, and different mortgages available to you. Scroll down a little further, and this is where you're going to see Meet Our Home Loan Experts and Get to Know Us tab. By clicking on that, it's going to take you directly to the next page that will go ahead and show all of our loan officers and what they can do for you. Lisa, myself, and Landa are right up top, and we will be able to help you with your purchase and refinances. If you click on one of our tabs where it says View Details, it will take you to the next page and gives you a little information about us. You can reach out to us directly by phone, that is our direct line right there, and also email. However, if you click the Apply Now button, this is going to take you now to the mortgage loan application portal. This portal is secure and simple to use. I also want to mention that this portal is something separate from your online banking. You will need to create an account. It's specifically for the mortgage process. When you click an account, you're going to enter basic information and create a username and password. We do recommend using something different than what your current online banking username and password are, but you are free to use whatever you choose within those password requirement guidelines. Once you have completed this, it will then take you to the application process where you'll answer some simple questions. Completing the application is full and as detailed as possible. Once you submit the application, you will get an email confirming that your application has been submitted, and the loan officer will also get an email stating that an application was submitted. We will reach out to you to collect any additional details needed for that application. Once you have submitted it, we will reach out within 24 to 48 hours as well, sometimes even sooner, where we can get you pre-approved very quickly. Now that you've applied, Landa's going to take you through the different types of loans available, along with talking about different documents and other resources.
What kind of loans does TLC offer? We are a conventional mortgage lender. Does that mean you need a 20% down payment? Not at all. It does require a down payment, but it can be as little as 3 to 5%. You do have to carry what's called PMI, private mortgage insurance. This is an insurance that the lender requires when you don't have a 20% down payment. This allows you to buy a home without that large down payment. Another great product that is exclusive to TLC that has different criteria is our first-time homebuyer program. This program allows for no money down and no PMI. We do look for 2 years of employment history. This does not mean you have to be at the same job for 2 years. We also require a 680 or better credit score. This program does allow for sellers' concessions, meaning the seller can help pay for closing costs if needed and there is no limit. We also require inspections on the home. This is a very popular program for our first-time homebuyers and very beneficial for those borrowers that do not have much saved. Home loan documents needed for your mortgage application include 30 days of recent pay stubs and the past 2 years of W-2s. Part of ensuring that you can pay your monthly mortgage payments is for your lender to verify that you have a steady and adequate source of income. We also need 2 months of recent bank statements. Lenders want to be sure that you have the funds to cover your down payment and closing costs. To do this, underwriters will need to look at your most recent 2 months of bank statements to determine if you have the cash. Keep in mind that your final list of documents may look different, as required documentation varies depending on your situation. On our TLC website, there are some additional resources that could be beneficial to you during the home buying process. Here you can check out our rates, knowing your credit with a link to annualcreditreport.com, a link to our learning center where you can access our financial calculators, and much more. We will now answer any questions that were asked throughout the presentation.
Our first question is, can I get additional funds for home improvements?
Great question. We cannot add additional funds to your mortgage loan. But after you close on your home, you may be eligible to apply for one of TLC's home improvement loans.
Can I add my closing costs into my loan?
So in order to add closing fees into your loan, you need to have what's called seller concessions. The seller concessions is something that you will discuss with your realtor prior to making any offer on a property. Seller concessions is when a seller agrees to give you a credit back at closing that can offset your closing fees. So that's something that you would want to discuss with your loan officer during the pre-approval process and would be part of your pre-approval letter.
Are there things I should be aware of once I am pre-approved?
Yes, there are things that you should be aware of. There are some do's and don'ts once you're pre-approved and going through the mortgage process. Just to touch base on a few of those things, applying for credit. You do not want to go out and apply for new credit, such as a credit card or maybe a new car loan, without first discussing it with your mortgage loan officer. Some other things that you want to make your mortgage loan officer aware of would be any sort of job or income changes. This could affect your pre-approval if you may be making less on the job than you were prior when you were pre-approved. Large deposits, especially cash deposits, we want to make sure that we can source where any of these funds are coming from per the guidelines. So cash is sometimes very hard to source. So you want to make sure that you're talking to your loan officer again if you are going to make any large deposits, whether it's cash or a check. Another thing to really be diligent about is just paying all of your bills on time. No slow pays and no past dues, because again, that could negatively impact the pre-approval and getting your new home.
What if I don't have 2 years of employment?
That's okay. You don't necessarily need 2 years of the same employment, but we do like to see 2 years of consecutive employment within the same job industry. If for some reason there are some job gaps in there, that's okay too, if they are explainable, meaning maybe you were laid off because they eliminated a job position from your past employer, or maybe you were in the moving process. So those things can be discussed again with your mortgage loan officer, and we can go ahead and make note of that inside of the loan file. We just don't want to see a whole lot of jumping around from job to job with different employers in different roles. We'd like to see some sort of consecutive or the same job titles.
Is pulling my credit for a pre-approval going to hurt my credit score?
Anytime you have your credit pulled for a loan application, there will be a credit inquiry against your credit. How that affects your credit will depend on how you've managed your credit. The only way to be able to know if you qualify for a mortgage is to have that credit inquiry taken by your loan officer. If you're planning on shopping for a mortgage, you have the right to shop around. If you're having credit pulled several times for the application, you are not penalized if you do this waiting within 1 to 2 weeks. Although the inquiries will each appear on your credit, it should only affect your credit as though you had it pulled one time. In case you are wondering, this does not work the same for credit and unsecured debt. Those count every time. You can get a copy of your credit report for free online at www.annualcreditreport.com. And if you want your score, you will have to pay for it. However, this will not count as a credit pull or show as an inquiry against your credit.
How do my taxes get paid on my home? Can they be added into my payment?
Yes, when you make your monthly payment, your taxes and insurance can be rolled into your payment as part of your escrow. So you will not have to worry about it being paid. We will take care of that for you.
And then we had a member ask to show the types of home loan slide again. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that up real quick. A copy of the presentation is also out on the TLC website. So here's that slide again.
And we can go into further detail with these types of home loans. If you contact one of us directly, we'd be more than happy to review and discuss your options.
So if there are no more questions, we would like to thank you for attending our home loan webinar. If you have further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to one of us. If you would like a loan officer to reach out to you directly, you can enter your information the same way you would ask a question. Please leave your name and the best way to contact you. You can also call the call center at 517-263-9120 and ask for the mortgage lending department. A copy of today's presentation and a recording of this webinar will be placed in the TLC Learning Center.